What happens on the Temple Mount, do you think? So there's the second temple was obviously built on the mount in Jerusalem. It was knocked down by the Romans in AD 70, and a few hundred years later, the Muslims built the third holiest site in Islam, the Al-Aqsa Mosque there, and beneath it is the foundation of the temple. That's the Western Wall. So that's the geography. But there is this push to rebuild the third temple, but there's a mosque on the site. My sense is that's coming to a head. Do you have any feeling about that?
I think you're right. I think the further right Israel moves, or the more hawkish it becomes, the more likely it is that will come to a head. There's no question that certainly the religious right in Israel is deeply committed to building a third temple.
But you'd have to blow up the mosque to do it.
Yes.
And what would happen if someone blew up the third holiest site in Islam in the middle of Jerusalem?
Well, the Israelis are very powerful vis-a-vis the Palestinian population, and they would, I guess, go to great lengths to suppress any insurrection. And if they had to kill lots of people, they'd kill lots of people. Look at what they're doing in Gaza. Yeah. The Israelis are incredibly ruthless. There's just no question about that. And they believe that Palestinians are subhumans, two-legged animals, grasshoppers. They use those kind of words. And you take what they've been doing in Gaza, it's easy to imagine them doing horrible things to the Palestinians if they were to rise up over what's happening with regard to the Temple Mount. And in terms of the Jordanians or the Egyptians or the Saudis, are they going to do anything? I doubt it. I mean, they'll make a lot of noise verbally, but in terms of actually doing anything to Israel, the Israelis basically calculate in all these instances that what they can do is horrible things, and then with the passage of time, people will forget. And not only will they forget, but we'll go to great lengths to help them forget. We'll rewrite the history. That's the idea. So I think that your assessment of what we should expect with the Temple Mount is probably correct.
Feels like there are a billion Muslims. So.
But they have a huge collective action problem. What are those billion Muslims going to do? I mean, they can't organize themselves into armored divisions and strike into Israel.
No, but they could. I mean, I think we learned from 9/11, a small group of determined people can have a big effect on events.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's all coming too, right? I mean, this is one of the problems that many Western Jews worry about, that, payback is going to come, not in the form of attacks on Israel, but in the form of attacks on Western Jews in places like the United States or Europe. And I think that is a real possibility. Let's hope it doesn't happen. But the number of people who are in the Arab and Islamic world who are absolutely enraged by what is going on in Gaza is not to be underestimated. And they have a second strike capability, as you point out. I was talking about building armored divisions. That's foolish. They're not going to build armored divisions, but there are other ways to deal with this.